Welcome to Proust My Startup, the podcast that offers you a glimpse at the personalities of the people that make the local startup ecosystem in Malaysia. I'm Vanessa Muledus, aka Brand Shifu with an H on Instagram, the founder of North Branding Consulting Boutique Agency. I'm a brand strategist, 24/7 immersed by the sides of entrepreneurs, startups, and SME founders. As a brand consultant, a mentor, but also an entrepreneur program facilitator, an investment jury, and a business angel. In Proust My Startup, I want to really discover who are the people that make our local startup ecosystem. Because I'm a brand strategist, I want to understand how their personal brand might influence or shape the corporate brand of their organization. Today's episode is recorded from CloudMile's Center of Excellence in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Startups thrive on innovation, and CloudMile is here to fuel that journey. As a leading AI and cloud technology company in Asia, they help businesses drive digital transformation and growth, leveraging machine learning, big data, and cloud solutions. With a team made up of certified technical experts and a strong network of technology partners, including being one of just 40 Google Cloud Managed Services providers globally, CloudMile has supported more than 1,200 companies through consulting, technical, and managed services. I've seen it firsthand with my own mentees, tech startup founders. Their Center of Excellence in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, now offers startups a collaborative space to explore generative AI, data management, security, and more, and advance their digital competitiveness with cloud and AI adoption. So if, like them, you want to experience it yourself, visit today my.cloud. And now, back to our episode. Today's guest is Karen Lau, COO at Sunway ILabs, an innovation ecosystem for startups of all stages. So buckle up and let's take a deep dive. What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Doing nothing.
What is your greatest fear?
Pineapple.
What is the trait you most deplore in yourself?
Being agitated really fast, impatient.
What is the trait you deplore in others?
I think it's probably getting negative without knowing the situations.
What living person do you most admire?
Probably my mom. If I don't say that, I won't be able to go home.
What is your greatest extravagance?
I think my greatest extravagance come very easily when I have a comfort food. Like a bowl of hot porridge in the morning, especially in cold winter's time when I was in Berlin. That's the best time.
What is your current state of mind?
Curious.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
I don't know.
On what occasion do you lie?
Slight calorie intakes. Alcohol.
What do you most dislike about your appearance?
I think it's probably the mole on my face.
Which living person do you most despise? And please, no name.
I think probably people who complains a lot and keep talking very loud about what they don't like without a solution.
What is the quality you most like in a man?
Someone who inspire you. I'm a knowledge demanding person. So anyone who inspire me, I would love listening to them.
What is the quality you most like in a woman?
It's the same. It's the same. It's men's or women's. So long you have, you can share something that really inspire me, can be thought provoking. And I really like people like that.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
I guess.
What or who is the greatest love of your life?
My late grandmother.
Where or when were you the most happy?
Whenever I have good food and good food in front of me, I'm a typical Malaysian.
Which talent would you most like to have?
Talents? Drawing skill?
If you would change one thing in yourself, what would it be?
I am generally happy with myself, but if I can change one thing, I hope I can be a good chef.
What do you consider your greatest achievement?
I think it's have a complete family. And during the big occasions, again, it come back to food. During Christmas, reunion dinners, the greatest achievement is to see a complete family having dinner together.
If you were to die and come back as a thing or a person, what would it be?
I would still try to be myself. No regrets.
Where would you like most to live?
Malaysia lah.
What is your most treasured possession?
Treasure possessions as in?
What do you regard as the lowest depth of misery?
I think probably in the situations where I lost either one of my family members that's really, really close to me. Yeah.
What is your favorite occupation?
I'm a microbiologist and turned into CVC, so from science to business. But one of the things that not many people knows about me is I love watching Tom and Jerry. So I love animations, but not towards the Japanese animation part. So yeah, I can do like easy cartoons curators. I will be happy to do that.
What is your most marked characteristic?
It's hard to tell from my perspective, and probably the questions to ask the people behind you.
What do you value most in your friends?
Optimism.
Who are your favorite writers?
I like readings, and I have quite a number of favorite authors, right? I think the recent one is Gerald Yap. It's great granddaughters of Yap Choi, and just started writing two books actually, from a finance background. And I love the way she writes the books and telling about the history and the family stories. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Who is your hero of fiction?
Okay, I'm someone who mix up all the names from Marvel or DC or whatever. I can't really recognize any one of them, but I was used to relate to a character known as Black Widow. God knows who is she, but I was given a nickname, by some of the friends.
Which historical figure do you most identify with?
It's a tough question. I don't quite relate myself to a historical person because I probably think I'm still young.
Who are your heroes in real life?
My late grandma.
What are your favorite names?
Favorite names? Okay, my full name is Karen Lau Kaisia. So when I was small, my brother used to call me Old Bicycle in Hokkien, right? We are from Penang. And Old Bicycle in Penang means Lau Ka Chia. So it's very close to my Chinese name. I hate that so much. Well, I thought this is probably the best memory between my brother and I. And right now, if you ask me this question, I will say that.
What is it that you most dislike?
Pineapple.
What is your greatest regret?
Greatest regrets? I can't think of any right now. It's like happy-go-lucky person. It's hard to think about that.
How would you like to die?
Before I sleep. Yeah.
What is your motto?
Move forward.
This episode is also sponsored by Hippies, and I want to thank you for supporting this show. Hippies is the go-to talent partner for scaling up startups in Malaysia and across Southeast Asia. Whether you're building your first tech team or recruiting that game-changing head of growth, Hippies gets it done. They're not your typical recruiters. They are builders themselves, backed by real industry experience and a strong regional presence in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Hippies Tribe is fast, sharp, and human. They don't just fill roles. They help you build momentum. And if you're a candidate listening, trust me, they will help you find a role that feels right, not just one that looks good on paper. This is what I really value in Hippies. They come from the field, from the real startup ecosystem. They too know what building a startup or working in that fast-paced and demanding environment means. Like they say, Hippies is for the bold, by the bold. So check them out on hippies.com or drop them a DM on LinkedIn. So now, can you introduce your organization in a 1-minute elevator pitch?
So Sunway ILabs is a smart partnership between Sunway Group and Sunway Universities. And what we do in Sunway ILabs is mainly three functions. We provide market access. The market access supports to the local and foreign startups. And that is a very good way for us also to build a relationship with the startups and allow us to learn more about them and then to take these opportunities to bring it back to our CVC, which is also sit under Sunway ILabs for investments. And of course, when we talk about startups, we address two parts, the market access as well as investments, the capital part. But what important is to run a startup effectively in Malaysia, you need talents. That's the reason why we have educations. So we work very closely with Sunway Universities for all the credit-bearing and non-credit-bearing entrepreneurship educations, really looking into bringing the Malaysian startup ecosystem back to the campus, work with the students through the experiential learning, through the university accelerators. And this opens to all university in Malaysia to make this really inclusive. And then to really address the last ingredients of the startup ecosystem, which is the talent parts. So for talents who want to work in the startups, in the VC, or they want to start a business or in the corporates, what we believe is you need the talents with the entrepreneurial skill and mindset. So these are the three ingredients that we are working within Sunway ILabs. It's pretty much ecosystems, although it's by Sunway, but it also opens to everyone's in Malaysia and, from ASEAN's. Our mission is to be the best corporate innovation labs in ASEAN, and hopefully we can achieve this really fast.
Why are you on Earth 4?
I think when we started Sunway ILabs about in 2017, which is not very old, the main aims that we are trying to address is to really bridge the gap between the supply of innovations, which is from all these startups as well as the universities, and then to close the gap with the demands of innovations, which is the corporate parts, right? And Sunway, we just celebrated the 50 years anniversary last year. And among the 30 business units, we know where do we stand. And we know in order to stay at a competitive edge, we need to disrupt ourselves first. That's the reason why we think collaboration is very important. And therefore, we need to open up the ecosystem for us to work with the talents, for us to work with the startups, to ensure that in order to really nurture the innovations ecosystem and to improve the value chain of innovations in Malaysia, we need to really make sure that each of us, whether you're from the corporates, whether you're from the startups or governments, we need to form as a to work as a team and to really make sure that we know our responsibilities. The corporates come in for adoptions, for investments, and then we can work with the governments for other supports, policies. And that's really make us propel as a nation rather than you do whatever you're good in, you focus whatever you work in, and you're not opening for everybody to join, and then you're not joining others. So I think that's probably why we are here. And then we are still working towards the same mantra. We are open innovation ecosystems, and we still want to work with everyone that within the startup ecosystems.
What people do you want to resonate with?
I think because Sunway ILabs, if you ask me these questions from the organizations per se, our target audience is very wide. If you talk about educations, we definitely love working with students who really want to give startup a try, or students who, actually it's students who just want to learn about entrepreneurship skill and mindsets, like problem solving, like being resilient. Because what we believe, this skill set is mandatory for all students in the university, no matter you want to go to the corporate and work, you want to start a business, or you have a family business to continue. So that's more towards the education parts. And when it comes to the other, a little bit more commercial areas like market access and investments, we would love working with startups who can really solve the real issues, especially for the corporates. But at the same time, also, when they bring the solutions to us, they are not just scratching the back of the corporates, right? And then that's the solutions that bring on the table. But more importantly, they are willing to learn the actual problems that the corporates are facing. They're willing to understand the pains through the process. They're willing to also build a relationship because for a startup to work with the corporates, I think essentially is we need someone who can really give the antibodies to stop the infections rather than just come in and scratch your back and then that's it what they can provide. This is probably the depth of the people that we constantly looking for, and it's hard to find.
How different are you from your competitors?
I think for Sunway ILabs, we always say we are different because as I mentioned before, we come with the 3 key ingredients for the startup ecosystems. I don't really like to use the word competitors, but let's take them as a collaborators, right? The VC focus on investments, which is our CVC arm, the CVC functions within Sunway ILabs. There are some early stage pre-seed accelerators. There are people who's trying to provide the startups education. This is where our education teams come from, stationed at Sunway University and consists of academicians and admin staff as well. And the other one who probably other people who provide like market access to bring the foreign startups to Malaysia is like maybe people like MDAC. We do this as well because we need to learn technology that is not available in Malaysia, and we need to work with other corporates, other startups in overseas. And because of this unique structures, sometimes we might be perceived as a mini startup ecosystem itself, and that's probably differentiate us from the others. By having these 3 ingredients that we put on the tables, compared to others who probably just focus on one part of it.
What do you promise to those people?
I think if you are those people who we are looking for, I think it's important that if I may rephrase that, is I don't like overpromise, right? If you work with us, what we're trying to do is, at least for me, I'm very transparent. Whatever we can do, we'll tell you. Whatever we can't do, we'll tell you as well. I think startup has very limited resources. Startups has also a very short gestational periods. And to be fair, let's be transparent. Let's be integrity for us is very important. If you work with us, we see you as one of the team members. We will help you. And we expect the same from you as well. So transparent communications, integrities, that's probably the 2 core elements that I think if you come to us, this is something that we always want to achieve and we strive to achieve as core values.
Any hot news to share with us?
Well, you know, when you ask these kind of questions with the brand and marketing manager sitting right in front of you, you have to make sure you say the right things. On the 15th of April, right, we are going to have the Future X Venture Fest. You're probably wondering what is that. I'll give you a little bit of teaser. It's going to be happening by the beach, plenty of sand. Hopefully it won't rain and get a lot of sunlight, a lot of beach activities, fire dance. We have some key opinion leaders from the deep tech world to, share some insights about the challenges, opportunities, and some startups, about 3 or 4 of them, to also share about their learnings in deep tech and how to scale, and then, what will be the trends after AI. And after that will be a beach parties, and that will be happening at Sunway Lagoon. So if you're keen, join us. We're waiting for you. And so long you come with batik, you come with 4 tropical prints, with slipper, please, no coats, no formals, and have fun. Well, you can definitely check it out in through our website. Our website is not the best, so bear with us. But if you need more information, do drop me a message in LinkedIn. Drop us a message in the ILabs LinkedIn as well. Personally, I'm quite active. I do check my LinkedIn every day, and I'm more than happy to connect with every one of you.